get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? What up? What is up? Welcome into Pregaming. I'm your boy, Pimp Slap POD. We're here. It's Friday, TGIFF. And we're live testing here today. Live testing a new microphone. So gonna need some feedback. Hopefully you guys can hear me. That would be bad if you couldn't, because you're gonna miss all this action that we've got laid out there for this card. You don't want to miss that. So need a little feedback. I'll go listen to it afterwards and see if it sounds any better. Anyways, it's a boom mic though. I freed up a little real estate opened up on this desk of mine here today, and that feels better. Feels like I got a little bit more room, not crowded. I can bring this computer even a little bit more forward. I'm used to having to have it all the way back. So it's exciting. Big things are coming here at Sports Money. How about that? Loud and clear, says Joe W. Great. Hopefully it sounds better. Loud? I'm loud? Am I too loud? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Shout out to all you guys, though. Thank you for jumping in here today. It is Friday. It is June the 6th. We are on to game number 2 in the NHL. I can't believe I left. I think I left it off because I knew exactly how I was going to attack it, and I really didn't give it much thought after that. So NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup Finals, game number 2. Thanks, Robert McCormick. Appreciate that. I just needed a little bit of feedback, boys. Got to make sure that we're good. I tested it in a recording session, but it's never the same as when you're working with a hot mic, as they say in the business, I guess. I don't know who says it. They say it, not me. But anyways, a full Major League Baseball card today. It's funny the way the card unfolds. What I mean by that is I felt like I played a lot of totals this week, like a lot of them, and we've been crushing. Yesterday, I know specifically in the afternoon, I think we were 4-1 on totals. Or actually, I think it was 4. Oh, no, yeah, 4-1. 4-1 overall with one. Anyways, doesn't matter. A lot of totals. Today, a lot of sides. So if you're not a total bettor, today you might feel pretty good. I think I have one total in there. One. We do have a WNBA spot that we'll talk about tonight. It's going to be the later game between the two. Starts at 10 p.m. Got CFL action. We won last night. Why wouldn't we go back to it today? Let's go. I got a big trend. And a hint, I think the wrong team might be favored. You know, it's weird because usually I'm talking down to the microphone that's sitting here. Now I'm talking up to the microphone that's sitting here. Big day for technology, big week for technology at Sports Money. Got a new monitor, got a new microphone, got a winning streak going. Oh yeah, by the way. And we'll bring in our guy, Andrew Babakitis from the Superbook in Las Vegas. He's going to talk to us about the sharp money. Now, I got him a little prep. I know there's a little thing called horse racing, and it's kind of a big deal this weekend. So I asked him to take a peek at the horse racing book to talk to us about what's going on there. I want to find out how the liability changes with the Indiana Pacers sneaking that win out last night. And it's Q&A time with friend of the show, Andrew Babakitis. He will answer a lot of the questions that you guys have out there. So feel free to drop them in the chat. We got him on at 6:45. So we got 35 minutes to go. And you'll see we got a lot of games to cover. We got Texas and Washington. We've got the Boston Red Sox, the New York Yankees, the Diamondbacks, and the Reds. The Padres and the Brewers, the Mariners and the Angels, the Orioles and I keep putting Oakland, the Athletics. You guys know the deal. I talked about the WNBA, the CFL, the NHL. Let's get her going, you guys. What do you think about that? Start off with a quick recap, and we busted them up yesterday. It's the only way I could describe it. I felt like we were winning everything. I had to look back. I was surprised we had a couple losses in there. We started off the afternoon 4-1. That was the silver and gold premium plays for the day. 4-1. zipped and skipped and nipped them books right in the backside. We lost that Royals under 8.5. That was the very first play of the day. We cashed the under 8.5 with the White Sox. We cashed the under 7.5 with the Orioles. We cashed the under 7.5 with the Padres. And then we finished her off with a come from behind victory in the LA Dodgers. We followed that up. We moved on into the evening slate and we busted them up again. 7-2 on show plays here. The Yankees minus 1.5 cashes easy for us. 4-0, another 4-0 shutout for the New York Yankees. A little bit of a comeback there for the Washington Mystics. I called it all the way. Pat myself on the back. Someone's got to. I said, these gals give up in that fourth quarter, and that's exactly what they did. I thought at one point Washington might be a live dog. We cashed the Tampa Bay Rays with a big comeback in that 9th inning, as Ramon had colorfully announced for us live on stream. Ryan Pepio went over 17.5 outs. He went 18 outs. Sadly, Matthew Liberatore did not get his over 4.5 K, so we took that L in that St. Louis game. That was the second leg of the doubleheader. Tried something, it didn't work out. So be it. OKC Thunder, first quarter under, cash for us, no problem. I think they had, 45 points, something like that. Lost the game 9.5. Everyone's been talking about it. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I know what happened is we made a lot of money on that live stream because we jumped in and we took the third quarter under. We took the Indiana Pacers third quarter on the money line. Said, forget those points. Let's just take them boys out there. And we added the Miles Turner player rebound prop that cashed in like the first 2 minutes of the quarter. So it was an unbelievable stretch. We followed it up with the CFL over 47.5 cash for us. We had 57 points in that game. We had a 10-point cushion in our pocket. And then the Phoenix Mercury play of the day right there. Golden State was, I had to double check. I thought there was an accounting error, a mistake out there because I looked and I thought, man, those girls got busted up. Well, not busted up, but I didn't think they won. And then I double check and I see, oh, they won. Hey, okay, let's take it. Why not us? Why can't we have nice things? And that's the way we busted them books up yesterday. And it felt good. Felt real good. Beat them up, take some names, kick some butt, do all of that stuff out there. And we're going to do it again tonight. So get ready. We do have a big Saturday show tomorrow. Of course, live. We'll be popping off. We'll start the day with Ramon Scott and the Morning Steam. Get the first look of what's happening out there in Las Vegas with the sharp betting and the syndicates, any of the overnight movements. We'll be popping off. I think it's around 5:40 p.m., about 20 minutes before the card starts. We'll talk about our prelim battles, what we're thinking is looking at. We'll go through the UFC playbook. You know, that's going to be out there later tonight. We'll get that finalized and sent out to you guys. I say finalized, but it's a dynamic document. It's fluid. It changes on a regular basis. So that'll be coming out there. And am I forgetting anything? Oh, of course. You've got First Strike to check out. Get in there. See what the fellas have to say for their best bets. VB MMA and Ramon Scott put their content out there as well. So we got a lot moving. A lot of things happening. All good. We got to get moving, though. We got just 30 minutes till our friend from the Superbook joins us, and I cannot wait to hear he's been telling us the pay-per-view cards are the big ones. That's where they get a lot of action. He's been a busy man this week, booking action, going on, sharing the knowledge with the people. And he's here to share it with us today. So, okay. A reminder. Monday. You'll see it out Sunday night. I'm going to set it out 10 p.m. I'm going to put it's going to be the same video. It's just going to be labeled contest entry day number 1, contest entry day number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up through contest entry day number 10. Cash on the line, barbecue sauces on the line. Let Sports Money cater your 4th of July. Sports Money's excited to present Chillin' and Grillin'. It's our 4th of July contest designed to bring you a barbecue from the Sports Money family. Real simple contest. It's a ribeye play of the day. You too can get in the ribeye business. And it's a real simple contest. All you have to do is pick one player per day. The contest period runs from June 9th through June 19th. That's a 10-day contest. That means you pick one player. You'll see on the screen Ohtani. RBI with the price and the book. You'll post that each day, 1 entry per day required for 10 total entries. And of course, you got to post it to the designated video. It's in the comments field that we want to focus on this contest. Entries, of course, must be in before the game starts. We'll tally them all up. When it's all said and done, we'll look at the best net gain, net profit generated from the RBIs. And the winner will receive the gift basket you see on the right, a gift card to pay for your barbecue fun. Enjoy the contest. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button and keep the comments coming. We'll see you soon. There you have it. 4th of July with sports money. Hey, a big trade announcement came through the waiver wire this afternoon. It's proposed. I don't know if it's officially accepted. I think, I guess the NFL has to approve this here, right? But Pittsburgh in the news again. I talked about him yesterday. I can't believe it here, but they will be sending George Pickens and a 6th round draft pick to the Dallas Cowboys for what looks like a 3rd round draft pick, trying to relieve some pressure from CeeDee Lamb. So we'll see if that gets approved or not, but it looks like that either did get approved, is being considered. The Sporting News is reporting that. I guess it's a little bit older news. I don't know why it just came across the pike for me here tonight, but let's go. Let's get to work. Let's talk about these bets. We got games popping off here in short order, and we have been red hot. So we want to stay red hot, of course. Hey, we'll grind on the days we got to grind, but we got to open up and fire when we see the board clearly. I cashed earlier today with the Tampa Bay spot. I didn't have enough time to get it out to you guys, so I apologize for that. But nonetheless, winning continues out there. You know the deal. Thumbs up time. Let's take a second, smack that thumbs up. We'll get to the chat. We'll talk about the best damn chat in the business and the plays that they have out there. I'll fire through the card that I have. We'll bring Andrew on. We'll go through the sharp action from Las Vegas. We'll get it all wrapped up here within the hour for you guys. All we need you to do, kindly smash that thumbs up button, close the comments, smack that thumbs up, pop the comments back open, and we will get to work. Yeah, there we go. Let's do that. That's how that is done. Of course, we want to talk about the plays that you guys are on. You know, it's my favorite part of the show. So it's time to go. We got work to do. We'll pop her off here. Pen and paper out. Write these plays down. Don't want to miss out. Joe T's going to pop us off with the Jover action. Jover was with me yesterday on that over in Saskatoon. He's going over again tonight. Toronto Argonauts, Montreal Alouettes in the CFL at 49.5. I've got a CFL play. It is not the total. It's a side. Gerald Jones looking for Baltimore -1 at even money for our guy, Gerald Jones. Shout to Robert McCormick, Joe Dub, Irish King, Bo Jackson says my Blue Jays can upset tonight in Twin City. Wow. We got to see what kind of lean our guy has on that. You know, he's our resident Toronto whisperer. Irish King says they can do it after the 5th. Redbeard, negative Bo. He does not agree with the upset out there. Stop Gio says we ain't getting posterized. We out here making posters. Let's go. Irish King likes Minnesota in the first 5, -0.5. Redbeard in the house. Appreciate you guys updating me. Mitch Morber says he called that spot on the Pacers last night. It was easy money. Let's go. Barry's here. Ignatius Penny Feather the 7th. There's Ken Wood in the house. Cash the Yankees -1.5. That was easy money. We'll take it. We will take it. Those series, we'll mental note that too. Cleveland and Yankees. They love them unders. Old E found a funny one on the sheet today. It's only the 4th time this year Kansas City's been a favorite on the road. I had to triple check my parameters. Wow, is that true? Interesting. Timmy Two Shoes here. O'Neal Cruz stolen base first. That Phillies righty is plus money. Irish King went 4-1 last night. I didn't cover this game, did I? No. I like the under, and I like the White Sox plus 1.5. AL Central versus AL Central. For what it's worth. Unders. A lot. Kirk B. He's in Niagara Falls for the weekend. I hope I don't miss the UFC stream. Well, we hope you don't miss it either. We're fired up and ready to go. Let's go. Irish Kings has cashed a 4-pick basketball parlay. We're bet on people. Gonzo's in the house. He likes Washington. No, we're not on the same side. We are not on the same side. Ramon Scott says, Phillies Pirates rain delayed. Glad I didn't play that game. I feel like I'm ahead of the buck already. Man, that Houston spot got us last night. That was an L. Rain delayed. What are you going to do? Irish King likes the over 8.5 in that spot. I see I stayed off some of these totals today. I'll tell you, though, the AL Central, for what it's worth, we'll kick it off with this just for a moment of time. The unders in the AL Central are 57, 24, and 3. Night games for the Kansas City Royals are under festivals at 27 and 12. And when the Royals and the White Sox play together, they are 44 and 21 in favor of the under. A lot of 2-to-1ers in there, even a little bit more. I didn't play it ultimately. I was going to play the under. I was going to play the White Sox plus 1.5 and probably sprinkle the money line. Hey, there we go. Bo says they're wearing the City Connects as well. Redbeard, White Sox, and the... I like that. See, I like that right there. That's the way I think I would play that game. Why not take a big swing, catch almost 2-to-1 your money here to start the card off? Let's go. Let's lead her off. Our guy, Gonzo, asking about this game. I'm going to tell you about it right now. Texas Rangers, Washington Nationals. This is the spot of spots here tonight. Love this opener on the card. I am rolling with these Texas Rangers. And despite what we saw yesterday and mediocrity reigning on these bats, there's two things you don't want to be involved with. The Nats versus pretty much any pitcher. And then, excuse me, the Nationals in game one of a series. That's a big deal. Now, there's been some considerable movement, so they're worth noting. It opened at minus 136. It's minus 116. And we've got 55% of the bets and 56% of the cash coming through on this Texas Ranger side of things here. And it's moved down 21 cents. The totals come down as well. 9.5s are down 9s with 79% of the bets and 82% of the cash on this spot. And we know what happened, right? We saw what happened yesterday. Now, it was expected. The Cubs won 7-1. Why was it expected? Because the game before, the Nationals shut them out 2-0. So it was expected. Let's see if I move this over here. Whoop, whoop. Still got to rearrange the real estate. You know what I mean? Got to move some things around and get all the parts to fit and work together for us here. And see if we can make it happen. On the flip side of things, the Rangers gave up a 4-3 bottom of the ninth W. Now, ordinarily, I am a proponent of a team tends to start the way they finish. I'm also a proponent of the Rangers got to be downright pissed off about the way that game ended. It was an error, wasn't it? I think Ramona talked to us about it being an error in the ninth. And the runner came in from second, I think was the call out there. But the thing that opens my eyes with this game, first and foremost, is we're starting to see some runs from these Texas Rangers. 2 days here, but look, they lost 5-1 after winning 8-1. So they got 9 runs in 2 games. They followed up with a 4-pack and then a 3-pack. So we're starting to see, it makes sense. The bats are just too strong not to get there. On the flip side, the Nationals aren't a team I want to fuck around and find out with. Soroka's got that 5.81 ERA, and it's Petty Corbin Day. Patrick Corbin has been in Wario world, Bizarro land. The dude's just firing. It don't make any sense. But what are you going to do? Now, look, they're not great away. That is for sure. But for me, I'm going to take a shot with these Texas Rangers. The price tag, I want to fade the Nationals in the game, a home opener. Let me start there. A home opener, we're fading the Nats. They're 60 and 21 if you fade them boys. That's a 3-to-1 advantage. That's a 75% clip. You can't find a much stronger edge than just fade them blindly. And it's Soroka. I found another little doozy. When you're out of the league, pre-7 p.m. favorites are 8-1. AL versus NL. We got it right here. It's a before 7 p.m. start at 6:45 p.m. 8-1 find them teams like the Texas Rangers. So we're going to fire away on these Texas Rangers to kick this card off, keep her moving, pick up the pace already. We're behind here. We got to keep her moving. Fuck. Red Sox, Yankees, delay. Shout out to Scott Blaster. He hit me up this morning. I was sure to get in on it. He's got the Venezuela to win to nil at -115 for the Skunt Bag play of the day. That's one of my favorites. You guys know that. Shout out to you, Skunt Blaster, man. Thanks for the $4.99 dono. Blessing our action. Good luck on your card. Good luck on my card. Gonzo's got the RBI contest practice plays. Josh Bell, Washington. We just need the price tag in the book. And he's got it +220. Here we go. There we go. I like the practice play. Look, you got to take a couple practice swings when you go to the golf course. You don't just go on to the first tee and fire down the middle, do you? I mean, some of us used to, but that was because I played a lot of golf. Used to play, 9-10 rounds in a weekend? Yeah, that's right. Friday to Sunday. 9-10 rounds. Didn't need to hit the warm-up range anymore after that. But I still advocate that. It's a great way to get started. Let's go. Gonzo, I'm going to root for you and Bell. Let's go. All right. I hate that this isn't a weather delay. I hate it's in a weather delay, and I hate that it's one of my favorite plays of the day. There's a double doozy. How about that for shitting me britches here early in this card? It's Boston. It's the Sox. It's the Sox. I got my cousin from Boston and the Yankees. That's terrible. I'm better than that. I'm better than that. It's got to be more organic and natural. And everyone thinks it's going to go over. Why isn't this game going to go over? You look at these two teams, they're batting the ball incredibly well. It's a battle of the AL. Why aren't these two teams with these top contenders out there going to go fire over these totals? This number's been steaming towards the Yankees. -166 is now -195. Big Yankees movement. And you got to figure they already started off with a tax. So you're getting clubbed. The old sub club here. This total at 9. How about this? 91% of the bets, 89% of the cash, no movement on this total at 9. Huh. It's Bueller. It's in a rain delay, so I don't know. I'm assuming it's going to blow over. We got, Warren on the other side of things here with the Yankees. I'll just keep it quick here because we got things to do. Let's just keep it quick. Boston's 9-0 to the under. They were down through 6 innings and had multiple defensive double plays. They're averaging a 5.6 total on the game. The Yankees are 7-0 to the under. Their last 7 series openers, they come out firing with their top dogs in the perch, but I don't think Will Warren is their top dog out there, but they are averaging a total of 6 net runs combined in those games. Again, plenty of margin against these unders. And the Yankees, 8-0 to the under. In that favorite role, greater than a -137 after allowing less than 2 runs the previous day. That's one team that can shut them boys out and play defensive battle again the next time. That's what dollars pay. You write the checks. You get the dubs. They're also 12-3, the Yankees, if they're coming off a win against the AL Central. So keep that in mind. Fridays, 17-4 to the under. They're coming off a win against the AL Central as well. So for whatever reason, the AL Central. Look, a shutout, 3 straight unders, 5-11 to the under as well. This should be a Friday night divisional battle. Strong pitching. Probably Yankees come out there and get the job done. But for me, it's the under 9. And I paid up. I wanted to have that push option. Now it's moved. It went down to 8.5. It did pop back up just a little bit here pre-game time. It's in a rain delay. So we'll see what happens. Good thing I'm double dipping this game on the market. The Cincinnati Reds and the Arizona Diamondbacks. This thing opened up with a little bit of reverse line movement. 53% of the bets and 62% of the cash are on the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's gone from -118 to -110. This one for me, the reason I'm double dipping, I don't do this very often, but I want to take advantage of the Reds bullpen. I also want to take advantage of where I think the stats are inaccurate. I mean, the stats are accurate. Erod has a 7.05 ERA. But Johnny Square comes in there and sees that and thinks, oh, this guy's terrible. And I mentioned to you guys the fan of a team finishing the way that they or starting the way they finish. How can you not love the fact that they played a day game, fired off 7 runs in that 9th inning, were able to cash my Arizona Diamondbacks plus 145-ish price tag, plus a whole bunch of plus 3.5s and plus 4.5s along the scoot. They won that game 11-10. They fought. They didn't quit. They swept the Braves. Very important. 8-3, 2-1, 11-10, them Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, we look at some of the other factors out there, and I mentioned when I say other factors, I specifically mean Eduardo Rodriguez, Erod. Erod's not doing shit. He's not helping anybody right now. He's struggling with a 7.61 ERA on the road. Giving up a lot of runs. That's what it comes down to. So it's a little scary. But he did just, I don't know if he was hurt. I don't know what was going on. He's back is what I'm going to say to you guys here. He had a time off. He had almost a month off. He went 6.2, 4, 5.1. Then shit hit the fan. He played the Dodgers, 2.2 innings pitched with 9 hits. And 4 innings pitched against the San Francisco Giants with 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned. We're going to bank and gamble on this guy pulling his shit together. Hopefully he got his life together. Maybe he needed a life coach. I don't know. But I know this guy plays better against shitty teams. Shitty teams is defined as losing records. 26-5. Erod is in these positions. And that's what we have with this Cincinnati Reds team. I get Lodolo. I like Lodolo. I'm a Nick Lodolo fan. What I don't like is the inconsistency of the batting when it comes to Cincinnati. They'll give you 10 runs. They'll give you no runs. And right now, look at yesterday. They got 1 run. They're on a losing streak. They're 1-5 in their last 6. This is a good time to fade on this Cincinnati Reds team. And I doubled up. I'm truly gambling on Erod having come back here. I don't think they would have kept him out for that extended time if he was fucked up. And on top of that, look, the Diamondbacks, why not play them when they're hot? They got a 4-game winning streak going out there. And I love that finish against the Atlanta Braves. So I'm going to fire off on a double dipper with this Arizona Diamondbacks team. I'm going to take the first 5 and the full game. I'm going to keep her moving because we got a lot of plays to get to here. And what's this going on here? What's going on here? Right. Padres and the Brewers coming up next for us here. Pick up this pace. Rapid fire here. Brewers catching a lot of action. 62% of the bets, 56% of the cash on the Milwaukee Brewers. It has come down from minus 145 to minus 148 to minus 143. Action coming in on the total. 89% of the bets, 91% of the cash. And it has not moved from 8.5. Crucial that it's not at that key number of 9. The way I read that here, we've got Vasquez and Patrick on the bump out there. And because we're not at that 9, the books are telling you this potentially could be a lower scoring game. Vasquez comes into this one with that 3.99 ERA. On the other side of things here, Patrick has that 2.97 ERA. And the Brewers went through that stretch. I mean, look, they're still pretty freaking hot. They just played Cincinnati. They won 2 of the 3 games in that series. They came off of a 9-run thumping. They took down the Phillies when there was no Bryce Harper out there. But I think you're buying or you're selling high on the Milwaukee Brewers in this case out there. And on the flip side of things here, just having played at San Francisco, that was the piece that concerned me. I do believe last year we talked a little bit about trying not to jump in on teams after they're coming back from San Francisco, but couldn't resist. I thought this price tag was efficient as a number can get for us out there, specifically when I was looking at this Padres spot. Better road team versus a team that is coming back home. Well, that happens to be the Brewers. They just played Phillies and Cincinnati out there. Since San Diego is a better team on the road than at home right now. Those teams are 177 and 115. Sometimes you got to get away from home and see if you can't figure it out. They shut out San Francisco 1-0. They beat them 3-2. They lost 6-5 and then they lost 3-2. That was a split series, but they're finding a little groove, a little mojo out there. And Vasquez, why not? I mean, he's got a 1.46 whip. I think we probably do see, well, I think we see a situation where we catch a nice price tag here with this San Diego Padres team. That's the way we're going to pop this Padres top. Keep her moving. We got 10 minutes. Our boy's going to be here. There's a fun, fast breakdown there. We just talked about this Padres team. So, yeah, Red Sox and Yankees got delayed on us. Irish King likes San Francisco, though. He's going to take a little San Fran action. Redbeard likes the Giants as well. And Dana Delp likes the Giants and Braves under. I could see that. Don't take life too serious. I agree. Dana Delp likes the Cubs at plus 164. Okay. Pause, refresh, recycle, revigor. We get just fired up. I'm fired up. I'm excited about tonight's card. Seattle Mariners will take on the Los Angeles Angels. I said this yesterday. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. My suspicion is Seattle plays like shit at home and they play better on the road. They especially play better sitting down there in Texas. But look at some situational timing with these two teams. What I mean by that is we just saw the Angels fire off a whole bunch of wins for a team that's kind of mediocre. Now, they did catch a little bit of a boost of enthusiasm because they got Mike Trout back in the lineup here. This is going to be, well, look, 62% of the bets, 56% of the cash are on the Mariners. It's come down from minus 146 to minus 130. The total's creeping up. It's gone over that key number at 9. 9, now 9.5. 90% of the bets and 92% of the cash. So get ready. It's ballpark day here. Get the glove. Come out there. This game might be playing until 2, 3 in the morning. We don't know. We'll see. It's Hendricks and Miller going to take the bump between these two. And I can cap both these pitchers on both sides of the equation. Here, look, you want to know what I mean by playing better on the road? Seattle's 9-2 on the road versus the AL West right-handed starters. If they just came off a home loss and a righty in that loss. And so when they become chalk on the road, it's for a reason. They fire back, they bounce back. That's exactly the way I see it out there. Pitching matchup, we're going to see, I think, pretty comparably matched dudes. Hendricks, 36 innings pitched in the month of May, 4.5 ERA. Not great, not terrible. Just 26 strikeouts, 38 hits. That's going to be a problem for a team that does like to fire on the road. Bryce Miller on the other side. I mean, again, I'm not in love. I think both these guys are just in opportunity to give up run mode out there. And the guy that I do like here, if you want my practice RBI spot, I got to look at Cal Raleigh. This dude, I mean, look, 7 days, 333, a 1.0 OPS, 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, 6 runs scored. You got to take a fact. You got to jump in there and take a look at what he's doing out there. Now, we talked about this the other day with that Juan Soto spot, and he did get it. So I like runs. I like Seattle to fire back after taking that home loss and then going on the road. They've shown historically they like to be in that spot. You got to take a Raleigh with 2+ RBIs, though. 1 RBI is going to be a minus 110. I ain't going to get her done. Although, if you're in the contest, that might be 1 unit. 1 unit could be enough to move you from second to first. Contest-wise, okay, let's go. We got to keep her going. We got to pick up the pace. Always got to pick this pace up here. Slowing her down. Baltimore O's, Sacktown Athletics here. Keep her firing here. I probably put too many plays on the card today. We had a great day. When you're seeing, well, you got to open up. We talk about that all the time. That's why we play flat unit bets. We open up when we're seeing the board clearly, and we stack cash. 52% of the bets, 77% of the cash on the, where'd it go? Oops, I fucked that up. $67% of the bets, 76% of the cash on the Baltimore Orioles. It's moving in their direction. The 11s come down to 10.5, 90% of the bets, 93% of the cash. I feel in my deep down in my heart, JP Sears, Kramer on the other side of things here with the Baltimore O's. I feel like we're in a situation where we're buying low. If you could ever be selling high on Oakland, it feels like it's right now. I mean, look, they just came off as, well, I don't know if I would entirely buy into that, but they just won 14-3. That's what Oakland just did. And Baltimore, as shitty as they've been kind of consistently chipping away. They spent themselves some time on the West Coast already, having played Seattle. That Seattle team that stinks at home but likes to play on the road. That was the situation. That was the format. I like Baltimore in the spot. I think it's a good price tag. I see the correlated line movement for us. I see the totals coming down. I mean, a 10.5 and an 11 at this ballpark doesn't surprise me. I just think batter for batter, this Oakland Athletics team stinks at home. They don't get any love and support because it's not really a home field for them. Baltimore could give a shit. They just want to go out there and pad some stats, and I think that's a bad spot. Rooker and Butler, probably some guys you want to look at, but I like runs. Again, I just think that when you put these two matchups side by side with each other, the Baltimore team's capable of popping more runs. That's that simple. Let me look at these lineups. Let me see who I think can go out there and crush. And do I concern myself that it's a minus 130? Not really. Baltimore kind of came into this season hot and heavy. Everybody was buying in on them, and they stink. They let everybody down. So I think it's a fair number for Baltimore. Real quick here, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to move on this as well. Let's go. I took the LA Sparks in the WNBA. Simple but true. And this is where I think the sharp balancing of the books makes it difficult in the WNBA. A team that just shit the bed across the board. They lost at home. Or I'm sorry, they lost as a favorite. They just lost. They didn't cover. Double dipper. Double whammy. That's the LA Sparks. Those teams are 14-0 their next game. 14-0-1 to be exact. And they're playing the Wings, who have one win this season. Now, problematic that this team opens up as a favorite because they're 1-4 in their last 5 games. But they were a 4.5-point favorite. And there you go. I just talked about it that last game. The sell high philosophy, buy low. You're not going to buy lower than a favorite, having not covered the spread out there. They've covered one of their last 5 games. That was against the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese's and company. I lean to the Sun, but they're bad. They're a league bad. I try not to back bad teams. I mean, I do get my share of bad teams, but the fuck? All right. Talk about the NHL really quick, you guys. I don't have a slide for it, but I'm doubling down on this Florida Panthers team again. Look, they're big, they're slow. They took some stupid penalties, and they fucked up, and they left Draisaitl wide open across that net. They started that game off hot. I think they come out there and they get that first period again. The problem that they had is they got the penalties. Bigger, slower teams tend to get more penalties like that. It's not a surprise. It's not awe-inspiring to see a team go down and lose in overtime, but puck line numbers are almost undefeated in these bounce back spots out there. And I do believe the better goaltender lies on the Philadelphia side of things here. I'm Philadelphia. Yikes. I was thinking of Bobrovsky in Philadelphia. This line has moved, by the way. 28% of the bets, 58% of the cash have come in on the Florida Panthers. And for a reason. They saw what I saw that last game. I mean, yeah, Edmonton's guess what? They're good. That's a good team. We'll give them their flowers here, but I think the coaching changes from a team that's been there and done that. Don't forget, just last year, when we talk about the importance of coaching, this season has been Draisaitl and McDavid popping up, but let's not forget, it was early in last season that they fired their coach and brought in the junior hockey coach for Connor McDavid. So when you talk about coaches with experience here, Florida Panthers have been a playoff team for 3 straight years. I don't see that changing here. I think they find a way to outfox the Foxes here, get that first period with the Florida Panthers, get that full game with the Florida Panthers. And they're reasonable price tags here. I think we got even money for the first period. First period sitting at minus, oh, look at this. It's moved now. Minus 102 is where it opened. It's minus 105s, and it's moving on up. The 110s, 115s, and FanDuel does not have the best number. And the full game is sitting at minus 105, has moved 10 cents in that direction as well. So the sharp bettors, respected betting report came through. They're betting on this squad. I'm going to bet on this squad. And I'm going to double dip this spot here. Not too many double dippers tonight, but there's a few. I've got one last game to talk to you guys and girls about, and our guy should be here momentarily. We're going to go back to the CFL. Look at that, right on cue. Right back to the CFL here tonight, you guys. We're looking at a situation with the Toronto Argonauts, the Montreal Alouettes. Now, we did cash last night. We did get that over 47. We were feeling pretty good. We were riding some early season trendage. And I got some more early season trends for you guys here. When I say about the wrong team being favored, maybe that's the case. If you're Toronto on the road against Eastern opponents over the last 3 years, they're 11-1 outright. Road team East opponents, Toronto Argonauts 11-1 outright. If you put them between the 3.5 and 6.5 spot, they're 10-2 against the spread in their last 12 as well. Early season value, the books aren't entirely sure where to mark these teams. So we're going to take these points here. We're going to take the 6.5 today with the Toronto Argonauts. A little CFL action. I don't watch it, but I'll bet on it. And I'm curious to hear if our guest gets into the CFL at all here, but he's our Friday guy. He's here. Boots on the ground. He's locked in from Las Vegas in the Superbook to talk to you guys about the cash flow, where the liabilities lie, and how we're all going to get paid this weekend. We got a big pay-per-view card, 316. Can't wait to talk and bring in our guy. Please welcome Andrew Babakidis. Hey, buddy.
What's up? How are you?
Oh man, it's another day in the neighborhood. I'm feeling pretty good actually. Opened up a pretty wide card today, so very excited for your contributions to today's show.
Yeah, man. It's an awesome time in the sports world. I know we talk about it like every week, but I'm just trying to soak it in. We get our first time finals matchup between Sinner and Alcaraz. I'm really looking forward to that one. Hopefully, I mean, the book is rooting pretty big for Sinner from our future pool, but I'm, as a fan, will be rooting for Alcaraz in that one. But yeah, man, this card is writing a tremendous amount of money. So, yeah, it's just a good time at the book. And, yeah, I have a feeling this card might write the most money of the year. So,
really,
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's been a good start for sure. That's for sure.
Well, I know you mentioned this the last time we talked about the you were already taking big action for the pay-per-view card with that Apex card that was going on last week. So what a disappointment with that main event there. Did you guys issue back a bunch of cash?
Yeah, I mean, I was ready to be done with that card by the time we got to that main event. So that was just the icing on the cake, right? I mean, that card, that's probably why this card's getting bet so much. People are just, we've been waiting a few weeks for a decent card. And, even though there's, six $5 favorites or higher on this card, there's still a lot of really good fights. So we're trying to do our best to see where people are interested on laying these big price tags. And, I've kind of talked to you about it before. I know how these big pay-per-view with big favorite cards work. A lot of the times you'll see these customers wait till today or tomorrow right before the fights, and you'll see the line crash because these big guys come in and, bet the highest point of the dog, and then you'll just see that favorite price start to crash. And if you've been keeping an eye on the market, it's already started to happen with a few of the fights.
Well, let me get you the keys to the car. Drive this puppy home for us. Let me line this up. Let me check this up there. Let me put this over there. And the floor is yours, my guy.
All right. So we could we'll start down lower on the card and work our way up to the good fights, the pay-per-view portion. But starting with the Medeiros versus Chinoski fight, we did open that one at minus 230 on Medeiros. We did take a really large wager on Chinoski today at plus 160. We're sitting minus 165 now on Medeiros. So currently we do need the favorite in that fight pretty big, which is a nice way for us to start the card because at the end of the day, I'm not going to hammer this point a bunch of times, but we are going to need some of the underdogs. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's a ton of liability on these parlays already, and it hasn't even been a surge of the public action, which is typically the day of the fights. So it's nice to see a few of these spots where we do need the favorite as of right now. We'll work our way up to the Ash Moose versus Salkild fight. That's been a big time mover. We opened Salkild at minus 280. We're currently sitting 420, but we did get as high as $6 on that fight before taking a very large respected bet at plus 450 on the Ash Moose. So, not that I'm saying I like the dog in that fight, but the person who bet it, I do respect his stuff. And it's, that's a nice spot where we could see, maybe a $4 favorite fall. Like I said, we're going to need one of those ones. We'll work our way up to the Spivak fight. I know that one has pretty strong handles on both sides of that fight. So we opened the fight at minus 145 on Spivak. We did take some early action on Waldo. It got as low as minus 125 on Spivak. At that point, we did take a large 5-figure bet on Spivak. The line kind of moved since, so we're sitting now minus 160 on that side. We have a slightly big decision on Waldo Cortez Acosta. So we're looking. I like that side personally. I think he has a good shot if he's able to keep this one on the feet to get that one done. So that's one of our closer lines for the card this week. So that is one of the sides I'm hoping we can get a dog on. Another early card fight. I'll just go through all the ones that have good action because this has been a pretty awesome card action-wise. So the Kong Wong fight today is an interesting one because De Silva missed weight by 6 pounds. We opened Wong at minus $4. It got as high as minus 550. But today we did take multiple very large wagers on De Silva after the weight miss at plus 375, plus 350. So we do have a very large decision on Kong Wong in that fight, which I don't know how that will end up looking tomorrow because she's, like I said, she's a $4 favorite. So that parlay liability will add up. A lot of these fights we are in win-win because the parlays that would be busted with some of these dogs, it's interesting to see how the figure looks if you incorporate the parlays. Let's go up to the main card where we have a few fights with pretty solid handle. Okay, so the Patchy mix fight, well, I'll talk about that one because I'm really looking forward to that fight. We did open that fight at minus 190 on Patchy mix. We did get a respected bet pretty early on Batista. My heart, I'm rooting for Patchy mix. I think it'd be good for the sport for him to come in and, I know the debutantes haven't had the most success, but I'm hoping he can get it done. And I know Mario Batista is coming off kind of not a fan-friendly fight against Jose Aldo. So I think we're in for a better fight than that last one for sure. So I'm hoping we can get Patchy in that one, but we did take a respected bet on Batista, so it's something to keep our eye on. We'll talk about the co-main and the main, and then we can talk about any other fights if you guys have any questions or whatever. The Kayla Harrison one has been an interesting one to book. Both that fight and the main event we opened up back in the beginning of May, so we've had a lot of shelf life with those fights. We opened up Kayla Harrison at minus 600. We're currently sitting minus 550. And little insight on what I've been trying to do with that fight is I've been staying a little bit lower than the market. So you'll see some $7 on Kayla Harrison out there. But I want to see what kind of respected action, who is willing to lay minus 550 on Kayla Harrison. Because I have a feeling coming tomorrow, there is going to be some takers at, plus 450 on that Juliana Pena side. And you can see the market has come down quite a bit. There's not really minus $8 out there anymore. So there hasn't been a ton of action on that Harrison side, but I'm waiting to see if somebody's really willing to lay that big price tag. And I've had a similar approach in the main event. We actually opened up Merab, like I said, back in May. Merab opened minus 360 favorite. I've been staying, this last week, I've kind of been staying on the low side of the market to see if people are willing to lay this kind of price tag on Merab, as, Sean O'Malley ended up closing the favorite in the main event the last time they fought. So I know Sean O'Malley is a very, very popular fighter. I just was, hoping to take a couple of big bets early at these higher prices on Merab because I have an inkling that there's going to be a lot of Sean O'Malley, money tomorrow. That's going to be there. So I think it's a good idea. From what we've done is, try to write a couple Marab bets, because that O'Malley money is going to come in tomorrow and the price will be lower. So I'm just trying to do the best job putting the book in a good situation, which, if my theory is right, I think we have done that. We've wrote a few big Marab bets, but nothing too sharp. So yeah, that's how we're looking so far on the card.
Oh man, I got to work the ones and twos out here and try to figure this thing out so we can get it right. All righty. That's awesome, man. That's great insight. I feel like O'Malley's going to, that's the fan favorite. I got to believe, right? Everybody likes this guy, and lots of things happening externally for this guy, right? He just had the second kid, I think. He's not sitting around smoking pipes as he's out there training and karate kicking his bong through the air as he chases after the scooter. So do we get a more focused guy coming in here? It just makes me nervous that this guy's catching a ton of bets. Right. Crazy.
And I mean, asking you, don't you think it makes sense that there's no reason to incentivize the guys who, are educated bettors who are looking at the screen, to incentivize them to come bet O'Malley when that money is already going to be there day of? So
yeah, I
haven't tried to stay super high because it's a big plus number on O'Malley, and it doesn't take too many, 5-figure bets where before you have significant liability on that side, and then you're begging people to bet Marab, So I've tried to position ourselves the best I can on that fight, if that makes sense to you guys.
I think that's fair feedback. I mean, again, you got a guy like O'Malley who's a fan favorite to begin with, and he's a dog price, and everybody likes to see the bounce back story. So he's going to write, those tickets are going to write themselves. I think that's a fair price tag with that one. Couple thoughts though. Do you guys deal with significant strikes and takedown props at all? Are those involved?
Yeah. So, little insight here. We eventually we will be switching to a more automated system where we can incorporate more, fun markets like that. And honestly, Vegas is so behind on the betting markets. Like, we don't have those kind of markets out here, like the takedown ladders and stuff. That stuff is all super interesting to me, and I wish we could incorporate that stuff, but everything we pretty much put up is, manually inputted by my fingertips for the UFC. So, no, we sadly, we don't have those markets.
What about with regards to some of your sharper bettors or your longtime customers? Do you see a theory or a strategy around arbitrage betting? I know somebody had asked a question around, do you find that guys are looking to try to price tag that middle point? Is that a pretty successful strategy that they have long-term?
No, if somebody is arbing, it is, they're winning money, so I can't fault anybody for that. That's kind of our job, is to make sure you're not giving out a free arb, right? That's what we're doing in the back is, you're comparing your lines to all the other lines. You don't want to be enabling people to have an arb at your book, basically. So that's why all the books are relatively similar in price tag, because at least here, similar to like Circa, we do deal with a very educated market of bettor. It's not, the FanDuel, the DraftKings. I'm not saying that they don't have sharp bettors at those books, but we don't get that same kind of public action. So to answer your question, yes, we do deal with a lot of those customers, and we know when they're here because that's our job, is we're labeling these guys. We know what these guys are doing. It's not rocket science. And, people who strictly bet that way might not get the same limits as somebody who's originating bets, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I always maybe I'm old school, right? I like to kind of find a side and fire, but how about, it's not quite arbing, right? But it's along the same strategy, because you're looking at, if I think that O'Malley's path to victory is the sub, but I think that, on the other side of things, Marab's path to victory is the KO. Do you see some of your sharper customers will go out there and take a big price tag on both of those types of finishes, or do they kind of align themselves more to one fighter versus the other?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd say typically the sharper customers stay in the main markets because they're able to get down, much more money. But if they are betting those markets, typically they're betting it day of the fight, or they are the ones moving the markets for sure. But I'd say mostly, generally, from what I've seen in the UFC, following it the last few years that I've been here, is that the sharper customers are typically staying on totals or money lines, and because the limits are so much higher on those markets, so they're really trying to get down more handle.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I get that. I think that's more mainstream, anyways, when it comes to the dollars and where you can kind of. I don't know. I like to try to pick some of the spots and how I think they're going to finish, but sometimes
I do too. I love to bet that way as well. I'm not saying it's not out there. I'm just saying it's not prevalent at this book.
Well, there's some big things happening in the world of sports here. We had a big move in the NBA. Now we saw the Pacers. Have you guys taken any significant change up in betting strategy out there? I mean, a lot of people loved OKC. It seemed like even Jay-Z was getting on the exacta there at the 4-1. I know those were some of your markets that you're managing. So
yeah,
with respect to the change now with the Pacers picking up that first game, are you guys taking a lot of business on OKC to win the series at a better price tag?
Yeah, the funny thing is, I know one of I'm not going to say he's like the sharpest customer or whatever, but he's a winning bettor. He came in and he bet the Pacers series price after the game yesterday. I was pretty surprised by that. I was like, seems like an odd timing to bet it after they get the win game one. Like, wouldn't you wait till we see what happens in game two? But yeah, I mean, people are betting the Thunder for this next game pretty heavily. I know the spread is 11 now. Let me see what we opened it. But yeah, I did see it worked its way up to 11. It actually got as high as 11.5. So at 11.5, we did have some buyback on the Pacers. The early money was all over the Thunder. But then there was, like I said, there was some buyback on the Pacers. Man, I'm going to be honest. I love the NBA, but I went at the end of the third quarter, I went for a run, kind of just thinking that the game was over. And I checked my phone, and I have like 20 messages about the game. And I'm like, what did I miss? I cannot believe I did that to myself. So, yeah, I mean, I watched the highlights at the end, and the Pacers, they've done this a couple times this postseason. They're just all these guys are hitting crazy threes.
They got hot. I mean, what is the number I saw was it 0-182, right?
Yeah.
When a team is trailing 9 or more points with 3 minutes left. And yet, you said it. I think this is the fourth time this postseason that we've seen these Pacers. That game in overtime where they were down to was that I can't remember if it was the Knicks. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like
they definitely had a big comeback. Yeah, against
they were down like 9 or 10 points in overtime, and they came back to stomp on everybody as well. So it was nuts. I was curious how that looks. It's definitely strange timing. Why wouldn't you wait for a 1-1 unless you think they're going to go down to OKC and take both those games on the road? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, to be fair, we might have been a little off market. It could have been more of like a market shopping type of bet than like an originator bet. I wasn't here for the bet. I just came in this morning and was like looking through the bets and saw that was in there, which was interesting, but I'm not going to claim he's like originating it. He could have just been, hedging off of some of his Thunder spot.
Sure.
Like I'm not completely sure. But I think I shared it before. We are in the book that is rooting for OKC from a future perspective. We do very well on OKC for the title.
How about in the I know we've got horse racing. I kind of gave you the heads up there and said, hey, what are you guys thinking from the horse side of things, the horse book? Any big things popping off to you for this for these races, specifically the big one tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I won't say the handle's been crazy. Baeza is by far the most bet horse so far for the Belmont. We lose a lot on Uncaged, but that's a 60-1 shot, so it's not that surprising. It only took a handful of bets for that liability to add up. But yeah, Baeza's been the public favorite so far. Yeah, pretty much all the other horses we do pretty well on, except a couple of the other super long shots. But yeah, the favorite so far has been Baeza by kind of a wide margin.
I know we have some horse racing enthusiasts out there, so I'll probably get a ticket in there myself. But those are long days, man, especially with a
Yeah.
long pay-per-view UFC night. So I'm fired up and I'm jacked up for this card as we are for most. But thank you, Andrew, so much. I respect your time, and we're over our 7:00 mark. So I want to thank you for always being amenable, coming on here, sharing the goods, what's happening behind the counter, and tell everyone what's going on. Tell them what's going on with the Superbook, and tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So tomorrow we'll do some reduced juice on some of the UFC fights. I know it's kind of tough to do that when some of them are sitting -$6 and stuff. So those kind of fights we probably won't. But for the ones that are relatively closer in the money line, we'll be doing reduced juice on that. Hockey, we're sitting at a 10-cent line, 105, 105. So I mean, yeah, if you're looking to add a book to your profile, you really should stop by the Superbook and add us as an out. So and watch the games here. It's a lot of fun, and the energy has been very high. Yeah, and you can always come say what's up if you are at the book. Just come ask for me.
Awesome stuff, man. Make sure you follow our guy, Babakitas24 on X. Tremendous sharer of information. All info that helps you guys try to cash more tickets. So very much appreciate having you. Make sure you guys do go out there. Give him a follow, like and retweet his stuff. You'll see tomorrow he's going to have all kinds of action. And we reference it live when we're doing the show as well on Saturday. So it's going to be a ton of fun. And I try to get him in this contest that we have starting on Monday. So maybe you'll get a chance to compete for that barbecue contest with our guy Andrew himself, and no pressure. I know he's a busy man. But,
what is that, baseball?
Yeah, the RBI contest there we're throwing out starts on Monday. Just got to pick one RBI a day and
right.
the price tag for it. So hopefully we'll see you there. But guys, on behalf of Andrew and the Sportsbook and Sports Money, thank you guys all for watching. Have yourselves a great night. Get that cash and follow our guy Ramon Scott tomorrow morning. The Morning Steam, 9 a.m. live from Las Vegas.